What if I told you that every time Palpatine ignited his lightsaber in front of a Jedi, he wasn't just fighting them, he was laughing at them? That the weapon he held in his wrinkled hands was specifically designed as an elaborate, calculated insult to everything the Jedi Order stood for? Yeah, you heard that right. The Emperor's lightsaber wasn't just a weapon, it was a middle finger wrapped in gold and crafted from the rarest materials in the galaxy. And today, we're breaking down exactly why this seemingly simple weapon was one of the most offensive things Palpatine ever created. Let's get into it. Here's something most fans don't realize. Palpatine absolutely despised lightsabers. And I'm not talking about a mild dislike. This man genuinely believed that lightsabers were beneath him and every other true Sith Lord. According to the Legends novel The Rise of Darth Vader, Sidious openly stated that the Sith had outgrown the use of lightsabers. To him, these elegant weapons represented limited thinking, a crutch that kept Force users from understanding the true potential of the dark side. In his mind, the Force itself could turn anything into a weapon, making a specialized tool like a lightsaber completely unnecessary. So, why did he carry one? Why did he go through the trouble of crafting not just one, but two of the most meticulously designed lightsabers in Star Wars history? The answer is beautifully simple and absolutely brutal. To mock the Jedi, to humiliate them, to prove he could beat them at their own game with a weapon he considered nothing more than a toy. Think about the psychology here for a moment. Palpatine spent decades hiding in plain sight, sitting in meetings with Jedi Masters, walking the halls of the Jedi Temple, all while concealing his true nature. Every single day was an opportunity to silently laugh at the Order's blindness. And his lightsaber? That was the ultimate punchline, waiting to be delivered. Now let's talk about what made this weapon so offensively extravagant. Palpatine didn't just grab some random materials and call it a day. Oh no. Under the guidance of his master, Darth Plagueis, he deliberately crafted the most expensive, most finely detailed lightsaber possible. The hilt was made from phrik alloy, an incredibly rare, nearly indestructible material that was actually resistant to lightsaber strikes. This wasn't just strong metal, this was the kind of stuff that screamed exclusivity and power. But Palpatine didn't stop there. He covered the entire weapon in electrum, a precious material that gave it a brilliant gold finish. Now here's where it gets really interesting. In the Jedi Order, electrum wasn't just decorative, it was a mark of status, traditionally reserved for high-ranking Jedi Council members like Mace Windu. It represented wisdom, experience, and earned authority within the Order. Palpatine took that sacred tradition and cranked it up to 11. He didn't just use a little bit of electrum for a subtle accent. He plastered his lightsaber hilts with more electrum than any Jedi would dare use, essentially creating a weapon that screamed, "I'm richer than all of you, more powerful than all of you, and you can't even sense me standing right next to you." The flat emitter? Made from orodium, another expensive material. Every detail, every curve, every intricate design element was chosen to flaunt wealth and craftsmanship that would make even the most prestigious Jedi lightsaber look modest by comparison. This weapon was luxury and arrogance forged into metal, hidden up his sleeve, waiting for the perfect moment to reveal the joke. But the insult goes even deeper than materials and money. Let's talk about what Palpatine actually believed about lightsaber combat. To the Jedi, a lightsaber was sacred. It was an extension of themselves, a symbol of their commitment to peace and justice. Young Padawans spent years learning to construct their own sabers, meditating on the crystals, understanding the weapon as part of their identity. The Jedi saw lightsaber mastery as a path to understanding the Force itself. Palpatine thought this was pathetic. In his view, the Jedi's obsession with lightsabers revealed their fundamental weakness. They had become so attached to a physical weapon that they'd forgotten the Force itself was the real power. They'd turned into glorified swordsmen, limited by their dependence on an elegant tool when they should have been channeling pure Force energy. And here's the really twisted part. Palpatine was a master of all 7 lightsaber forms. He excelled at Form 7, Yuyo, the most aggressive and dangerous style, one that the Jedi themselves discouraged because of its connection to darker emotions. He could fight with the acrobatic fury of Form 4, the precise dueling techniques of Form 2, and blend them all together into an unpredictable nightmare for his opponents. He was better with lightsabers than most Jedi Masters, and he knew it. And he wanted them to know that he knew it. When Obi-Wan Kenobi once reflected on why the Sith used lightsabers, he basically nailed it. They use them because they like to think that anything the Jedi can do, they can do better. That wasn't just about the Sith in general. That was Palpatine's entire philosophy crystallized into one sentence. He wielded a weapon he considered beneath him purely to prove he could humiliate the Jedi with their own cherished tool. It's like a chess grandmaster beating you using only pawns. The disrespect is the whole point. For 2 decades, Palpatine kept his original lightsaber hidden inside a statue in his Chancellor's office, a uranium sculpture of Sistros to be specific. The weapon sat there in absolute darkness, waiting, while Palpatine played the role of kindly politician and concerned Chancellor. Every time a Jedi visited his office for a meeting, they were standing meters away from a Sith lightsaber and had no idea. Every diplomatic discussion, every strategic planning session during the Clone Wars, the evidence of his true nature was right there, and they were completely blind to it. When Mace Windu and 3 other Jedi Masters finally came to arrest him, Palpatine telekinetically ignited the blade inside the statue and pulled it through the melting sculpture. Can you imagine that moment? The hiss of the lightsaber burning through the uranium, the crimson blade emerging from the destroyed artwork. And Palpatine's wrinkled hand catching it with a smile. And then came the reveal of just how good he actually was. Ajan Kolar and Saesee Tiin, both Jedi Masters, both skilled warriors, cut down in seconds. Kit Fisto, one of the Order's finest duelists, killed moments later. 3 Jedi Masters eliminated before most people could blink. Only Mace Windu stood a chance, and even then, it took his unique Varpad style, the one Jedi technique that channeled darkness back at its wielder, to match Palpatine's ferocious attacks. The message was clear. You spent centuries perfecting this art, building your identities around these weapons, and I can defeat your greatest masters with a tool I consider obsolete. After Order 66, after the Empire rose and the Jedi were nearly extinct, Palpatine basically stopped using lightsabers altogether. And this makes perfect sense when you understand his mindset. The weapon had served its purpose. The joke had been delivered, the punchline executed. There were no more Jedi to mock, no more warriors who needed to be shown that their sacred weapon meant nothing in the hands of true dark side mastery. In the original trilogy, we never see Emperor Palpatine with a lightsaber because he didn't need the pretense anymore. He had achieved everything he wanted. The Jedi were gone. The Sith ruled the galaxy. The lightsaber could collect dust because the galaxy itself had become his weapon. He'd proven his point in the most devastating way possible, by destroying the Jedi Order using their own combat forms, by turning their chosen one against them, by converting the Republic's army into executioners with 3 simple words: execute Order 66. The lightsaber was always just part of a larger humiliation. The real insult wasn't the weapon itself. It was that Palpatine had played the Jedi like a symphony, conducting their destruction with patience, precision, and theatrical flair. So the next time you watch Revenge of the Sith and see that golden hilt emerge from Palpatine's sleeve, remember, you're not just watching a Sith Lord draw a weapon. You're watching the delivery of a 20-year-old insult, crafted with meticulous care, dripping with arrogance, and designed to prove that the Jedi's most sacred tool was nothing but a toy in the hands of a true master of the dark side. Palpatine's lightsaber wasn't offensive because it was powerful. It was offensive because it was unnecessary, and he made sure the Jedi knew it. If you enjoyed this breakdown, smash that like button and subscribe for more Star Wars deep lore. Let me know in the comments. What's your favorite example of Palpatine's manipulation throughout the saga? I'll catch you in the next one. May the Force be with you.